Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we'll learn all about Douglas College and their 100th anniversary celebration. We'll also meet a Livingston native who created a jewelry line in honor of her developmentally disabled sister. But first, Rutgers football legend Eric LeGrand is the epitome of hard work and resiliency. His latest venture, the LeGrand Coffee House, which just recently opened in his hometown of Woodbridge. He's here now to tell us all about it. Eric, we are so happy to have you on the show today.
Lisa, thank you so much for having me on.
I know this opening has been 2 years in the making. Tell us how you got the idea to open your own coffee shop.
Honestly, I just wanted to bring people together. The world was at each other's throats in 2020. There was just so much, negativity. I'm like, what can I do to bring people together? So I thought to myself, people look to you, Eric, as inspiration and motivation. Well, what do people want and what do people need? Coffee. So I came up with the idea and I learned about the business, hired a business advisor, went through the ups and downs, and here we are today with our LeGrand Coffee House, brick and mortar now open.
Well, there's definitely some magic in those coffee beans. I have a baby at home, so coffee's been my best friend over this past year and a half, for sure. But did I read correctly somewhere that you never tried coffee until like August of 2020?
August of 2020 was my first cup of coffee, and I never really needed it because I wake up and I'm always ready to go anyway. So I just never really just like tried much of it. Now I had to sip here and there when I was a kid, but then I actually got to go into it and try different kinds. And I was like, whoa, what have I been missing out on? This stuff is actually pretty good, especially when you start, adding stuff with lattes and mochas and cold brew. That it really changed my life.
I think it's a sign of aging though, because I'm like you. I never drank coffee until my 30s because I would like wake up and go, go, go. But now I need a little help. How did the town of Woodbridge help getting the idea off the ground?
Oh, they were incredible. Right away when I had the idea, I reached out to our mayor, John McCormick, and I told him the idea, and he fell in love with it. He called the guys over at Prism Capitals, and they was just told him the idea, pitched it to them. They were a little hesitant at first, and Mayor Mac was like, "You gotta put Eric in there. Are you kidding me?" Like, and then he told the whole background, and I'm so thankful they gave me the opportunity to go out there and try to prove Mayor Mac right, and here we are. So the town of Woodbridge has always supported me, and they've always had my back. So I couldn't be more thankful to them.
And this is a great way in giving back to them through small business. I'm sure they're very appreciative of that.
Absolutely, and the people in this community, there's like 104,000 people that live in Woodbridge Township. Let's just say they are all fired up for the coffee shop.
Oh, they are. I see on social media you have lines every day. You have a celebrity sighting all the time. It's there's a lot of good energy and fun happening there.
That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to create a place where people could come, be comfortable, get some great coffee, enjoy themselves, and leave satisfied. That's what it's all about. And you never know who's going to pop in LeGrand Coffee House.
Yes. How often are you there?
I've been there pretty much every day. I think I haven't been in just 2 days so far, and I usually get there in the afternoon just to see how everything's running. But I have a fantastic staff with my manager, Victor Morales, and Alex Oliveira, who is also our lead barista. And our staff, I said, if they made it through the opening weekend, I think they'll be all right going forward, and they survived. So they have been running the show, and I've been getting so many compliments about how great this staff is. So it warms my heart knowing that I can trust them.
Who did you turn to within the coffee industry for guidance?
So I reached out to a company all the way out in Portland. The Northwest is known for their coffee, Seattle, Portland, that area. So when I just did a quick Google research, I found Moletto Coffee Business Advisors, and I now call him a friend. That's what he is, Matt Moletto. He has guided me along this process of just learning about the coffee business, the up and downs of it, how to source your beans, things to look out for budget wise, and how to run a shop. They actually came out here the first week of May and trained my whole staff to get them prepared for what the Grand Coffee House was about to be. And it's he's been a godsend. Let's just say you can tell Lisa how much admiration I have for him and his company because we wouldn't be where we are today without him.
Who did the build of the coffee shop? Because I know you have accommodations for customers with special needs, and the decor in and of itself is really cool.
Yeah, L2M Construction, they did the whole build out of the coffee shop. They did amazing job. Also, Mike Testa's architect company helped me design it. And also I got from Matt, I got put in touch with my good friend now, Andrew Jensen, with design and layout, based out all the way down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who all he does is design coffee shops. That's what he does. And we got together, we went through every inch of the spot and we put it together. And I have a lot of good friends who helped me, like my good friend Nicole Gregus, with the decor of the shop and all the aesthetics, the little touches that I don't think about, but a lot of other people do. I have helped with. So it's been a whole village and team around it, but it came out even more beautiful than I could have imagined.
How did you figure out what beans your coffee shop was going to serve? Because I know there's a lot to choose from, a lot of thought goes into it. So, talk about the blends that you feature and what makes them so special.
And that's the thing. We have actually been selling single origin, which means they're coming directly from one farm. So either a Costa Rican, Guatemala, Brazil, a Sumatran, and we even added Colombian to our lineup. So when I said I want to come up with a blend for the shop, what do I want to go with? So I started mixing and matching the beans and seeing which ones tasted the best. And the Brazil Guatemala blend has been amazing. We've been calling it the Believe blend. That's our house roast, and people they've been harping all over it. And our specialty drink, the Scarlet Knight. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yes. And speaking of the Scarlet Knights, you've had an outpouring of support from your alma mater. Who has come down to the shop so far, or at least donated product?
Oh yeah, Coach Shiano has came out and his wife. I was amazing to the grand opening. Pat Hobbs, our athletic director. The Scarlet Knight himself was also out there. Sir Henry popped by, and then just the Rutgers community, the amount of people that had on Rutgers jerseys and T-shirts throughout the store, the opening day, and still now it is amazing. I mean, if you're in this area, there's always a Rutgers alumni to help in anything that you want to do. Believe me, I found them. And everywhere I go, our roasters out in Brooklyn is a Rutgers alumni. It's incredible to see the power of this university, and so happy to be a part of the Alumni Association.
I mean, you are the Alumni Association, though. I mean, you have brought so many people together with your story, and you continue to be such an inspiration.
And I just try to be who I am. What you see is what you get. Don't put on a front for anybody. I'm a genuinely happy person each and every day, and I'm so thankful for the blessings that I have in my life. And I just try to share that with other people that are going through some sort of adversity in their lives, that life isn't over. Life can still be good, and you can still do amazing things if you surround yourself with good people.
Yeah, you are proof positive of that. Eric, where can people find out more about you and the coffee shop?
Yes, go to LeGrandCoffeehouse.com. We've been selling our beans online throughout the entire country for the past year and a half already, and it's been amazing to see the feedback from that, and selling to all 50 states throughout the country. But come on down to the shop at 10 Green Street at the Avenue and Green apartment complex, and come get your daily cup of Believe. We're dealing them out Monday through Friday, 6 to 6, on weekends, 7 to 3. So stop on in, take a picture, have a good time, and leave satisfied.
Oh, definitely. Next time I am in the area, I will definitely stop by. Before I let you go, do you have plans to open up more coffee houses around the Garden State?
Lisa, God willing, I am not done. I'll tell you that. I am not done. I have definitely plans to be throughout this entire, state of New Jersey, and we'll see what the future holds. We're very happy with our hub, our brick and mortar right now, the first one, Woodbridge, but there's definitely plans to be out through this entire state.
Well, we will stay tuned for that. Eric, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Much love to you, Lisa.
The Alumni Association of Douglas College, New Jersey's first women's college, is celebrating its 100th anniversary this June. Joining us now to talk about this important celebration is one of the college's board of directors, Tina Gordon. Tina, thank you so much for coming on here today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I've been on the board of the Associate Alumni of Douglas College since 2004. Not quite as long as the association has been around, but it's been a good long time.
How has the association supported women in higher education over the past century?
Well, it's interesting because the first graduating class at the New Jersey College for Women, which is what it was called initially, admitted in 1918, and they graduated 4 years later in 1922. And they immediately that day, with caps and gowns and everything in hand, got together to establish an alumni association. The idea being that they could stay connected with each other and also with their alma mater. And they would be able to gather for things like reunions and programs, speeches, etc. So they really set the table well for something that I imagine nobody thought about that would last for 100 years, but here we are. So we're very happy that those people had the foresight to set up an association that would remain so active and be so supportive of women in education. To answer that question, not only do we feel that women support women and really want other women to succeed, but by being part of the Associate Alumni of Douglas College, which we call the AADC, you actually get lifelong learning opportunities. You can volunteer to lead things. You can volunteer to just participate in things. So you're constantly having leadership opportunities that are available to you, as well as partaking in many, many important programs with speakers and seminars, lectures, all kinds of things like that, that really do promote lifelong learning and education for women in the state.
What has the feedback been from the younger students?
Well, I think all of the women who have participated have really benefited. Younger people tend to have other priorities, and it's only when you get out of school, get established and so forth, that you begin to look back. In the beginning, they're all looking ahead. And so when they finally do start coming back for reunions, it's like reunited, and it feels so good. They're finally back together after a period of time, and we count on that. We have a young alumni network that really tries to promote programs for the younger alums. We're working on some family-friendly programs for them, and of course we have traditional programs that they will find very, very useful. And let me tell you about one. We're talking about younger alums, but I have to give a shout out to Victoria Dabrowski-Schmidt, who graduated in 1942. She's our oldest living alum. She's 101 years old, sharp as a tack. I went out with her for lunch on her 100th birthday, and it was great. And she is the benefactor behind our Victoria Dabrowski-Schmidt 42 Workplace and Professional Development Symposium. By running that every year, we expose our members to wonderful speakers, to workshops, and we even ran a seminar once that I ran on how to retire successfully. Some people find that hard to do. I did not. And so that was very popular too.
I can tell that retirement has been very good to you. You're doing a lot.
I'm busy. I don't know how I had time to work.
Well, let's talk about Douglas College. Why did you choose to go there, and what makes it such a special place?
Well, Douglas has always had a tremendous reputation, not only in the state, but among women's colleges in the United States. And when I was getting ready to go to college, when I graduated from high school in 1968, Rutgers University did not admit women as undergrads. The big liberal arts college at Rutgers was Rutgers College. And at that point, they were not admitting women. So if I wanted to go to my state college, my state university, Douglas was my choice. And it was the best possible choice for me. I had a wonderful education there. And just as important, I met the best of the best, wonderful people during my 4 years in school. And because of the Alumni Association, I've met so many wonderful people that weren't even on campus when I was a student. They were either much older than me, or they've come about, they've come through Douglas since then. So I have friends who graduated in 59, 69, 79, all the way up through 2022. That's one of the wonderful things, that we can stay connected in a sisterhood, if you will.
You're on campus a lot, obviously. How has it changed since you were a student?
I wish I could say I was on campus a lot, but in the last couple of years, I have barely seen the campus. We follow all of the rules and regulations and health protocols that Rutgers dictates. So we haven't really had a chance to be on campus. But how has it changed? Well, Obviously, technology has played a huge role in education at all levels. Students don't necessarily have to show up in class the way we always had to do. And certainly we never wore pajamas to class. So that has certainly changed. You know, so some of the social things have changed a lot. But I think the emphasis on women's education is such an important one. And that's why the Alumni Association has in its mission to provide lifelong education, because you're a student for 4 years, but you're an alum for life. And you don't stop learning. If you're naturally curious and you're smart enough to go to a major university like Rutgers and affiliate with Douglas, then you probably want to continue your lifelong learning. There's many, many things you need to learn outside the classroom. And through our Alumni Association, we're able to provide a lot of that education for our alums.
Tell us about some of the notable Douglas College alumni over the past 100 years.
One of the notable alumni that has passed through the doors at Douglas and is an active member of the Associate Alumni of Douglas College is Sherry Beasley. Sherry is the first African-American female to be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in North Carolina. And she served in that role for several years, and now she is a candidate for the Senate in North Carolina. She just won her primary, so we're very pleased and proud of her. And the great news is that she's the keynote speaker at our gala, our 100th anniversary gala, which is Proud History, Bright Future, on June 11th. And if you want to hear Sherry speak, you can buy tickets at douglasalumni.org. She's going to be sensational. Now, along with Sherry, one of the notable alums, one of my favorite notable alums is Sharon Carmison. Sharon is a Broadway producer, and she's won a bunch of Tony Awards. It's a thrill to sit in the house and watch her go up on the stage with the other producers. She's produced some shows that you probably heard of, like Dear Evan Hansen and Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and about 20 other shows. In fact, I just saw a show of hers last Saturday night at the George Street Playhouse right in New Brunswick, which is a wonderful place to go and see a show. So Sharon, you know, not only is she a producer, but she also is a philanthropist, and she is a very active member of the AADC and a very, very generous sponsor.
I know you have your gala coming up, like you mentioned. Are there other ways that the college is celebrating their anniversary?
Well, the college actually turned 100 in 2018. So they had lots of celebrations then. Now it's our turn, because we had to wait 4 years for the Alumni Association to be formed. And so we turned 100 this year. And we've been doing all kinds of things as a part of that, in addition to the traditional things that we're doing. This year, for the first time, we did a big service project where our members bought menstrual products and donated them to a variety of local charities throughout the state. And we've, because of the pandemic, we've certainly expanded our reach. You know, we'd love to get together. We love to eat the cheese Danish. You know, we love to see each other. But since we couldn't do that in the last few years, we've really ramped up our virtual meetings, and we've had lots of things where people could get together online. I know everybody's really looking forward to going to the gala and seeing somebody in three dimensions instead of in that little box.
Well, you are working so hard in keeping the community over at Douglas College together. And I hope the younger viewers maybe watching this really understand what an opportunity that they have at their fingertips if they go to the school or are thinking about going to the school, because I'm very involved with my college as well, and it reaps a lot of benefits for both sides. So I think it's very important to keep tapped into your network for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's nothing but a win-win. And I hope that some of those young alumni who have a lot more energy than I do will show up on June 11th at our gala, because they'll be the ones out on the dance floor, although it'll be hard to get some of us old folks off the dance floor. One of the things we just did was compile a list of songs that we want the DJ to play. So, you know, we have a lot of fun. Not only do we do all the serious hard stuff, but we have an awful lot of fun too. So the latest class just graduated last Saturday, the class of 2022. And when you graduate, you're automatically a member of the AADC. So we welcome them to our sisterhood.
And what a sisterhood it seems to be. Tina, thank you so much for coming on and painting such a vivid picture and explaining about the successes of Douglas College. Where can people find out more about you?
Our website is Douglas Alumnae. That's ALUMNAE. We're not alumni. That's the male version of the word. It's douglasalumnae.org. And we have all the information that you can want and a button where you could submit your contact information. If you haven't been hearing from us, it might be because we don't have your contact info. So you can certainly provide that.
Tina, thank you so much and enjoy that gala on June 11th.
Oh yeah, I got my dancing shoes all ready to go. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Livingston native Bonnie Jennifer is the mastermind behind a jewelry line whose business model revolves around giving back. The collection is inspired by her developmentally disabled sister, who gives each and every piece purpose. We welcome Bonnie to the show. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
We got to know each other at a charity event with St. Joseph's Children's Hospital. I actually bought one of your bracelets that I wear on every taping. It's the evil eye, or a repurposed evil eye.
Yes.
And we got into talking, and that's why you're on the show here today, about the special bond that you and your sister share and how she's inspired you in so many different ways. So let's start with that. Let's talk about that bond with your sister.
Sure. So Cindy is my sister, and she is my older sister, and she has developmental disabilities. She has cerebral palsy and epilepsy. And so at a young age, I just, took like I had always had a bond towards her. And she is so sweet and so kind and so loving. And I always wanted to do something to help other people because of Cindy. So I decided to transfer into becoming a jewelry designer and taking all the skill sets that I learned. And then I donate 10 to 20% of my sales, which is where I met you at the St. Joseph's event. And I donated to multiple charities. And that's sort of how I got started.
I think that is such a unique business model and so smart too, because it's a win-win for everybody involved.
It is.
So talk about some of the clients within New Jersey that you've worked with. We mentioned St. Joseph's. What are some of the others?
So I've worked with the MS Society. I've worked with, as you know, St. Joseph's Hospital. I've worked with actual temples, Temple B'nai Abraham, Temple B'nai Jeshurun. The sky's the limit. I've worked with so many different organizations.
I know that you have a special bracelet that you designed dedicated to your sister Cindy. Tell us about that piece.
Sure. So during the pandemic, I stopped doing a lot of the pop-up events, and I wanted to really work much more with people who have disabilities, and it was really important to me. So I was researching online, and I found this wonderful organization called the Sibling Support Project. And it's basically, it helps siblings who have multiple disabilities. And so I joined the group and realized that they are so compassionate and so dedicated to their siblings, and I wanted to work with them. So I found out the director's name and I called her, and we realized we had a lot in common. We decided to create a bracelet together, which is the Sibling Support Project bracelet, which I'm wearing right now. And the first 100 pieces that are sold, 50% of the sales will go to the Sibling Support Project.
Bonnie, so you thought of this idea to honor your sister with this bracelet, to give back to the community in such a big way. What was the reaction when you showed your sister the bracelet that was inspired directly by her?
Oh my God, she was full of joy. She was jumping up and down, smiling from ear to ear, and she just felt like so special. And that's really why I do this work, because it just fills me up with so much joy and it makes her happy. And honestly, at the end of the day, my business is about purpose. And that's why I have the tagline, Purpose with Purchase.
And talk about your signature, I guess, piece or look with the jewelry line, because I know you're known for the balls.
Yes, the gold balls. Yes, I am known for them. I'm wearing them. I'm decked out. You can see the earrings. I have the gold ball beaded bracelet, and I'm actually the necklace and the bracelet. What's great about the gold balls is that they don't turn or tarnish. They're handmade by us, and the price is amazing. And so you're not breaking the bank, and you can get a lot of wonderful pieces for under $100.
Well, where can people find out more about you and how to support your latest cause?
You can go to bonniejennifer.com, and you can read about our background there and also shop online. In addition, you can go to Bonnie Jennifer Jewelry on Instagram.
Great. Bonnie, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy to have met you, and I look forward to seeing more of your work and supporting more of your amazing, important endeavors.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.